Hello to all the crochet lovers out there. Welcome to my channel, and this is Janice. I want to show you how to make these lovely pumpkin coasters, and you can make them in any kind of color. The ones I made here, I made one in yellow with a green stem. I also made an orange pumpkin with the green stem. You can also make a white pumpkin if you like, but I just made these two just to give you an example, but I will be showing you today on how to make them. And I know that Halloween is almost around the corner, and I just wanted to give you some crocheting ideas for Halloween. If you're like me, I like to decorate my house. I like to decorate outside my house, especially with these special holidays coming up. And I love Halloween. I love to put all these really spooky little things around my house. So I just want to give you some ideas on what to make. So I hope this video will be very helpful and useful. So don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video I will show you how these pumpkin coasters turned out. Okay, so now in order to make these pumpkin coasters, you will need some yarn. I will be using the color orange today to make my pumpkin. I will also be using green yarn to make the top piece of my pumpkin. You will also need a pair of scissors, a crochet needle. Now for the crochet needle, I use the size 6. You can use any type of crochet needle. Now the one thing is, if you go for a thicker crochet needle, then the stitch will be a lot the stitches will be a lot bigger. But if you go for a medium size, like this is going to be a medium size crochet hook, it would just be something like this. The stitches would be a little bit tight, not too tight, but just in between. And I also will be using a sewing needle for the ends. So when I'm done with my pumpkin coasters, there will be some little strands that I will have to make knots, so that way they won't be visible when the pumpkin coasters are completed. Okay, so the first thing that I will start with is I will start with my orange yarn. And just to let you know, the type of yarn that I am using today is by Red Heart. And I love to buy these Red Heart yarns. I've experienced that with this type of yarn, it crochets a lot easier. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's just right. It's a medium size. And in all the years that I have been crocheting, I've always used Red Heart. Okay, so now I am ready to start my project. So I will be making my slip knot. I will insert my needle into my crocheting needle. Then to secure the knot, I would tie another loop and pull it. So after you have that secured onto your crochet needle, then I will chain 2, 1 and 2. So you have 2 chains. So to start the circle of the pumpkin, I will yarn over and go into my first chain that I started with, and then I will go through all my loops. As you can see, this part here where that little circle is, that is my center. So now I will be making 12 double crochets all into the same center there, and I'll cut this little string off so it doesn't interfere while I'm crocheting. So I will make a double crochet, go into the center of the hole there, of the circle, and I will make 12 double crochets all into that center. So that's 2. Okay, so that's 2 double crochets. This will be my third one. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oops, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I made a total of 12 double crochets all into the center of the circle. So now I will slip stitch to join and go right through the loop. So now that I made my circle, as you can see, now I am ready to go on to the next step. So I am going to chain 1, 2, double crochet in the same chain 2 times. So you'll be doing 2 double crochets in every single chain all around the circle. So that's 1 double crochet, then you do another double crochet in the same chain. So you'll just repeat that all the way around. When I get around to the end, then I'll come back and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so now I came to my end, and now I am going to close the circle. So you see this gap here? I will join into the next chain and I will do a slip stitch. Go into the second chain from the top and make a slip stitch. So it looks just like this. And the reason why I am doing 2 double crochets in each chain is because that way the circle starts to expand and starts getting bigger and bigger instead of doing 1 double crochet in every chain. So now I will chain 2, do a double crochet in the same chain twice. It's the same repetition again, doing 2 double crochets all in the same chain. So you'll be doing that all the way around once again. And the good thing about these pumpkin coasters is you can make them as big as you want, you can make them as small as you want. The more chains you make and the more double crochets you make in the same chain, the pumpkin will get bigger and bigger. Now if you want a smaller pumpkin, then in that case I will also make 1 double crochet instead of 2. So there you can see that the pumpkin is already getting bigger and bigger. So see how it's getting bigger? So, but the pumpkin coaster that I will be making will be the size of this one that I made before. But I still need to go a little bit, a lot more actually, not a little bit, a lot more. Okay, so I'll go around and finish the circle and then I'll continue from there. Okay, I am back and now I'm ready to make the slip stitch. on the second chain from the top, and then I will pull all the loops together like this. So let me show you how the pumpkin is coming along. There's a circle, okay, but I measured it with my other sample that I made. As you can see, I still need to make some more rows to get to the size that I made first. So I will show you how to start it again. So the first thing that I will do is I will make 2 chains like that. I will do a double crochet all into the same chain 2 times. And go on to the next chain, do 2 double crochets. Now it all depends on how you crochet. I know some people, they like to crochet kind of tight, some like to crochet loose, and a lot of times what happens to me is when I'm crocheting and I start to add a lot more stitches, like when you make a blanket or you make a square or a circle, and you start to see that it's starting to like bend here a little bit to fold in, you have to use your judgment, and as you're doing your project you kind of flatten it out. If you see that you are putting too many stitches all in the same chain, you can always change that. If you feel that you still need some more, double crochets in the same chain, you can add them. So you can always add, you can always, make them make less stitches. It all depends on what kind of project you are making. So I will continue doing this, and I also wanted to tell everyone, you're probably wondering how I learned to crochet. Well, when I was young and I was in elementary school, my mother always used to crochet so many things. She used to make blankets, sweaters, you name it. She could make anything. And basically, I guess throughout the years, I've learned from her. And I was also in the Girl Scouts. And I would make so many things, especially like for Christmas, for any kind of holiday. And this is one of my favorite things to do. And the purpose of crocheting is it keeps my mind occupied. It relaxes me. And I really like to do stuff like this. And hopefully someday, my daughter will do the same, and that she'll take after me on how to make things. And a lot of times people nowadays, they rather go and buy the stuff that's already made, but they don't know the value and the time that it takes for people that do stuff like this. Everything is all handmade. It's a lot of work, but it pays in the long run. And I myself, I enjoy doing stuff like this. I have made so many things for the house, for the beds. And the good thing about those things is that they last a long time. As long as you take good care of the stuff, then it'll last you a long time. So here I will continue going until the end. And I'm still adding 2 double crochets all into the same stitch. And this project, I think it's really easy to do, especially I think the double crochet is mostly like for the beginners, where you're starting to learn how to crochet after you know how to make the chains and all that. And then you start doing the double crochet. That's the easiest stitch as well. And then the next stitch that's really easy to make is a Granny Smith, which in some of my videos I have made things with the Granny Smith stitch. I have showed you how to make a baby blanket and other things as well. And the placemats, I believe I also did a double crochet as well on that one. So make sure you watch those other crocheting videos that I made, because they're really cute and easy to make. So take an effort to take your time and look through all my videos. There's so many videos that I have made and they're really interesting. Okay, so I will measure this sample that I made before and see how much I need to go. Well, I'm actually getting close to that, as you can see. So I guess this will be the final row that I will be doing. So let me show you how I end it. Okay, I just need a couple more chains and then I will close the end here. Okay, so now I'm here at the end and there is that open stitch here like this, like a V. Well, now I'm going to close that gap by doing a slip stitch on my second chain. So there it is. There is the pumpkin. As you can see, it's the exact size like this one. And like I said, you can make them as big as you want, but I think this size is perfect. So now with the scissors, I will cut a piece off. And then I will join the green yarn for the stem. And you can use light green, you can use dark green, but I'm going to use the dark green because I think it's a lot prettier. It stands out more. So then now I will join the two colors. And make sure the knot is pretty tight before you cut the strings off. So now I have the orange and I have the green attached. So now I am ready to make the stem. So I will start with 2 chains like that, and then I will make a double crochet into the first chain where I made the 3 chains. So that's 1 double crochet. I will make about 6 double crochets. I'll see how big the stem is. And you can make a small stem, you can make a big stem, it's all up to you. So there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Okay, so I finished my 6 double crochets for the stem, but we cannot leave it like this. So what I am going to do is I will slip stitch into my next chain and just go through my loop, just like this. Okay, so there is the stem. You can see. Is that cute? So now what I normally do after I have the 6 double crochets, I pull it a little bit to extend the stem, just like that. Okay, and once you have the stem made, then I just cut a little piece off and I make a knot to make sure that it stays in place. So then I make a knot, pull, and there it is. And I just cut a little piece off. And now I get my sewing needle. Remember in the beginning of the video I mentioned that I will be using a sewing needle? Well, now is the time. So now I am going to sew the ends, just a few stitches. There's not too many stitches, just as long as it holds it in place, like that. And then there it is. Okay, so now the green stem is secure, and there is the pumpkin. So you have one pumpkin here, an orange pumpkin, I have a yellow pumpkin, and I have my other orange pumpkin. And you can make any color you like. I was going to make a white pumpkin, but I decided to show you one of my examples that I already made, and the same color. So here they are. Well, thanks for joining me today, and if you like this video, subscribe and comment on my video. I will be happy to see your comments, and I will see you next time for more videos like this. Take care. Bye.